I'm going to group together two questions because I think they're related. The first one is from Juansky 11. Thanks for the invitation to pick your brain. What is your take on Messianic Judaism? From my point of view, it sounds like Christianity with respect to Jewish traditions. Um, I want to know more about what you think. Okay, and then the second one is a video on the guy from Nazareth. Your videos on him are extremely unpleasant. Please hear me out. And it just goes on and just says that it's not nice and it doesn't look nice and there are a lot of people who are going to get the wrong idea, and also for it doesn't make any points, my video, and people just walk away with a bad taste in their mouth. So can I just make a video directly with my belief about him, as opposed to just kind of responding to someone who's threatening me with eternal damnation? So I just want to say with the title Messianic Judaism, I'm not sure exactly what it means. I try not to put labels on Judaism or spirituality in general. I'm a big believer that there should be 6.3 billion religions on this planet because that's how many people there are. But it seems to be, all Jews. There's a codifier of Jewish law named the Rambam, and he was very controversial while he was alive. One thing he did was he wrote 12 principles of faith that he said in his code of Jewish law, or he said later, if you don't believe any one of these, I don't consider you a Jew. It's a very strongly worded statement. So his 12th one, his 11th one, or maybe there's 13, I think it's just, he wrote 13, but his 12th one is, I believe with a complete faith in the coming of the Messiah. And even though he may tarry, even notwithstanding this fact, I still await his arrival every single day. And what he was trying to tell the Jewish people is, from an Orthodox perspective, the hope and the desire and the longing for the Messianic redemption is integral, is part of the religion. It's like believing in one God. And this is something that has not been, and it's interesting because at the time he himself was labeled a heretic, and his writings were burned. I think there was a little bit of jealousy. He was very, very close with the leader of Egypt at the time, and I think and he was a very big fan of Aristotle, and he was a little out there for his generation. Now the generation passed, and people like that Ramban later came, and they cut him some slack. And in our time, he's considered like a genius that you don't want to disagree with the Rambam, and you're often quoting the Rambam in terms of what it says in Halacha because he wrote Mishnah Torah, which is like in his opus magnum. It's like his summary of the entirety of the 613 mitzvahs that God has given to the Jewish people, amongst other books he wrote. But anyway, my point is, there's actually a funny story with him. That one time he was, I think the reason he got a hard time and he was put into exile is because he was a little apologetic in his approach. There's one time that he's sitting, there's a story that we have handed down from tradition. He's sitting with the viceroy of Egypt, and he tells him, wait a minute, I don't understand something in your Jewish law. If I pour wine, or if I handle wine, because I'm not Jew, you can't drink that wine? So someone looks at him and he asks him to put out his leg. And I think in those days they didn't wear shoes, so maybe they were eating. I'm not sure. He wasn't wearing shoes. He puts out his leg. The Rambam takes a pitcher of water and a basin, puts the basin under his leg. He pours the water over the guy's leg, his foot, not just his leg, the lowest part. And he takes and he drinks the water. And so he does a brilliant job in this story of sidestepping the question and admitting that yes, I can drink the wine that you've handled. At the same time, I'm showing him this awkward level of respect. Because I mean, these are in the days where a leader of a country could put you to death very easily, and it wouldn't be so. It's not like in that nowadays. It's become it's fashionable to make fun of world leaders. In those days, they were held with high esteem because they had so much power, and they were absolute leaders. Anyway, my point is, all Jews, all Orthodox Jews are, I think what you're trying to say, Messianic Jews. We all wait for the Messianic redemption. We're like longing for it. We're 3 times a day we pray. We mention the Messianic redemption in several different ways throughout our prayer. We say to return to Jerusalem, restore the sprouting of King David's kingship. Help that come to fruition. We wait for salvation the entirety of the day. Restore judges in previous times. A lot of the benedictions that we recite in our standing prayer session have to do with Messianic redemption, and a lot of the prayer has to do with the Messianic redemption. Jews have been wanting to see a world, a planet, which the Rambam says about the prophecy, the wool will dwell peacefully with the lamb. He says this is an allegory, this is like an analogy, and don't take it literally. It's not like the wolf is going to be able to sit peacefully with the lamb and not want to devour it. It means that non-Jewish nations, which are compared to wolves in some parts of our liturgy, because of their treatment of us, will sit quietly with the lamb. The Jewish people compared to like a lamb, because we're very humble people. We're not warriors. We're not. We're simple people who like to sit and learn all day. So he says that this is the film. The prophecy will be that the non-Jews will sit peacefully with the Jews, and Jews have been waiting since day one for the world for non-Jews to stop with warfare, to stop with economic disparity. Making some people rich, some people poor, and just getting our planet geared and focused towards a spiritual existence. Where everyone's more subliminally based and subliminally focused and more transcendent and more reaching up as opposed to focusing on down. My video on this guy from and I'll just make another video, sorry, about the guy from Nazareth. Okay, thank you so much. Hope this helps, and God bless.